Hello and welcome to PaxAriaGaming. This is Reg with episode 7 of Nioh 3. Recapping episode 6, however, we went to Lake Sanaru, or Sanaru, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that, took on an enemy base, went back through Hamamatsu Hill to fight the blood-spurting Ogun, a boss, and then we started our playthrough in Nioh. We took on a Crucible node, got the pagoda key, and started Those Who Live in the Shadows, which we will be completing in this episode. Okay, we're not making our way to the castle yet. That's the main quest. We are doing this little side quest. And after that, we'll do another side quest for Naotora, the woman we met at the castle. Now, hopefully you guys are seeing the improvement in my skills as we've moved along with each episode. And I don't think I did anything off camera between episodes this time. Sometimes I'll go back through an area, pick up loot that I might have missed. The little loot, not the chests and stuff like that. But this time, this is a direct follow-up to the last video. Yeah. There's something over there. There's a chest that I want to get, but I haven't quite figured out how to get to it. That music is being played by one of those summoner guys. The chest is up on that ledge. Not on the ledge, because it's behind the fencing over there. Yeah, these little glowing red things will summon enemies to fight you. I'm assuming they're AI-generated enemies. And when you fight enough of them, a blood demon will appear, which is an incredibly difficult boss, but it drops great loot. As you can see, these guys are a little bit tougher than the ones that you may summon to fight if you're out of the summoning cups and you want to get some, and you just pick a random one of these little red markers to fight. And you can see what level they're at. With these, I don't think you can tell what level they're at. They're just, I'm assuming, people who actually died in this area and seem a little pissed off with the world. Ouch. I'm using the split staff for the moment. There's an item up there. I'm wondering if I can jump up and get it, or do I have to sort of work my way across? If I am able to get up there, then I could just jump across to where the chest is. And there's another path to I can't jump over here. The little gravestones are here, so that's not the way. So it might be from the other side. So after spending 20 minutes trying to figure out how to get over here, I realized the chest is still unreachable. That little fire blast is the guardian spirit skill. Still haven't locked in on which guardian spirit I will use for the ninja build. You can equip different ones for your two builds. So for the samurai, you'll get to a point in the game where you can actually have two guardian spirits equipped. For the ninja, you'll only ever be able to equip one at a time, which gives you a lot of variety. Okay, now it looks like we're out of the little dark zone by coming in this direction. May as well snag the shrine. Looks like there's some drop downs over here as well. Oh, I guess the shrine is down here. It's right below us. And we hear a Takechiyo somewhere. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Yeah, sometimes you have to just be still and don't move, and then you'll eventually see it. Sometimes it'll dip behind the trees. Yeah, I don't use my my ninja or my samurai points enough. Whenever I remember to go to it, I usually have like 9 of them saved up. Which is okay, since I'm not unlocking every single weapon in the game. I can pour everything into dual swords and split staff, or dual katanas and switch glaive for the samurai, so that helps. Okay, this is the exploration level where we are in Nioh. Now, any of the little types of items that I left behind in the earlier sections of the game, I'll probably go back and get that stuff without recording. Some of it is just minor loot. I can put on the treasure center mask again and find all of that stuff, but you can also look at the little menu. It will tell you what's missing. And you'll be able to unlock one of the ways that you can traverse the areas that you couldn't get to before. One we've already unlocked. You know, hit R1 and you sort of wall run. There's a similar one that will allow you to sort of basically wall run up as opposed to simply wall running across. And another one that will allow you to that will allow you to break those sort of Amarita. I don't know whether this is Amarita clusters or not, but certainly the Amarita boulder looking things allow you to break those, which leads to a different pathway. And you'll know where they are because they are locked on the map. So if you look at the map, you can sort of see which ones you've completed and which ones you haven't. And easy enough to fast travel back to the ones you haven't done once you get that ability. We are on the verge of moving into the second act of the game as well, which will signify a midpoint in the game, I guess. Or, let me put it this way, a midpoint region of the game. It'll shift us into a different timeline, so I'll let you know when we get there. We won't get there in this episode, but we're pretty close. Unlike certain games, you cannot run through the waterfalls. Looks like you would be able to, but you can't. After, completing Crimson Desert before this one, sort of made me feel like I should never ignore a waterfall. You're looking for little cairns on the side that will give you a signal that it's a waterfall that you can go through. But nope, none of that in this game. So the way forward is definitely not that way unless there's a drop down. That's where we were. You can't jump up there, and there's another waterfall ahead. Nope, can't jump up. Okay, there is a locked area too. This is the fun part of a blind playthrough, and that is I don't know how the hell to get to certain places in the game. As I mentioned in an earlier episode, it also is part of the puzzle. Okay, so after frustratingly trying to figure out how to work my way around and not being able to, I did find this is a different guy from the one we killed the first time. So we're coming at this from a different direction, which should, if I don't fall down and get lost, he was like a crucible type enemy. He had the red flares around his feet. I think the way to get to that stuff on the other side must be through the pagoda. Okay, so let's try. All right. Okay, not through the pagoda, but through the deserted village. You do get keys from certain enemies in the game, and because what you use the key for is almost never immediately right next to where you find the key. You end up holding on to it for a long time, wondering, okay, what is this key for? Looks like we are about to pick up an ally, if that's who's fighting this yokai. Should we go help him out? Oh, he's stuck on a rock or something. What is this? Oh, he's stuck on a body that he can't run past. Yeah, wow. That's different.
Get here. Never mind. Talking can wait. We've got work to do.
The mysterious ninja. Okay, those who live in the shadows. Let's talk to this ninja. Hey, buddy.
I owe you one. Seems I ticked off the Takeda a bit too much. Just a thought, but you and those Takeda yokai aren't exactly pals, yeah? How about we join up? Their master's gotta be around here somewhere. I bet you thought I was a Takeda shinobi, huh? I was just tracking yokai. I haven't put a finger on any Tokugawa soldiers. Still, for you to track me down, you gotta be damn good.
So traveling with the allies is always a little helpful. Now, while they cannot officially die, they can get injured to the point where they're no longer fighting. And then when the fight is over, they sort of perk up again. You know, they seem like, from the ones we've had so far, they all seem like they can just never die, but they actually can. Or at least can be put out of the fight, even if they don't technically die. Okay. Oh, he just runs in there balls deep. Okay, all right. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I don't know why I don't just simply block half of these. Yeah, you know, the spinning burst attack thing, you know, you do your burst block thingy, which I guess is akin to a parry. But with all the other attacks, you can block them. Now they will weaken your ki as you're doing that. So when he's doing that 18 swing move that he has, the skeletal guy, you wouldn't want to use that strategy. You would just simply use the deflect one. That's what you're supposed to do. For these other enemies, unless they're hacking at you unless they're large enemies hacking at you like 5 or 6 times in a row, you can generally block, and not that good at that stuff. And certainly, all of the bosses that you encounter in a game, at least up to this point, are large bosses. So that strategy might not work very well because you may only get 1 or 2 blocks off, or you can use a soul core and get something that's going to give you a much higher defense buff for a little while. something like steel or one of those other ones. I think that that might help if you're super squishy. And the thing is, like this guy. See, the idea is to deflect, but I'll let him handle him. The other thing too is, I know I'm sort of building this mage build. I'm not obviously opposed to using samurai because I've invested in the samurai skills as well. As the game moves on, you're going to get better soul cores. You'll get enhanced or improved soul cores. Like you may have gotten a soul core from a Gaki chief, and then you play along, and later you get a better soul core from a Gaki chief. Definitely you want to switch to the better one, the higher level one. So plenty to pay attention to and manage. And I don't ever get rid of any of this. I think I still have all of the soul cores I've ever had since the beginning of the game. So they're beginning to pile up. And the lower level ones, I'm not sure if it's helpful to keep. So I have to decide, probably in a pretty involved hour-and-a-half to 2-hour period on my own, go through and do some serious inventory management, including soul cores. Get down to like 500 slot, 500 things in by slot. Right now, I'm so close to 2,000 that every once in a while I end up having to either drop things, find a Sudama to sell stuff to, or go back to the blacksmith in the Eternal Rift and disassemble things. But that's not really doing it. I mean, I have way too much stuff, so I need to spend real time getting rid of weapon types that I'm not going to use. I'm not going to use the Tonfa, I'm not going to use an axe, I'm not going to use those kinds of things, so I don't know why I keep any of them. Originally I wanted to keep one of each weapon type, so maybe I will still do that. One is still better than like 50 of each weapon type. In terms of the armor sets, some of them are situational, so you may want to have, maybe, hey, little buddy, you want to have a few different armor sets depending on who you're facing coming up. And I don't know who the bosses are and what their strengths and weaknesses are until I actually meet them. I usually meet them and then die the first couple of times that I face them. So when that happens, it would be easy to go back to your shrine and sort of switch gear if you think that's going to be helpful. Now, if this is a new game plus for certain people, or people are sort of playing this through for the third or fourth time for some reason, then they already know. I'm just checking to make sure, sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so this is likely going to lead to a boss fight. Oh, maybe, oh, yep, there it is. Thank you. I'll try. I don't know how good weakness and the weakness talisman is.
That's their
Okay, this is the
master,
real boss.
Look sharp.
In the previous game, weakness and sloth were two that I used a lot. I mean, it was my go-to setup in terms of putting different status effects on the enemy. The other thing I learned is that, wow, easy fight. Ninja Soul Core.
This looks like the last of them.
Interesting.
And that's that. Now then, no point in keeping secrets from you anymore. The name's Fuma Kotaro, a shinobi under the employ of Sagami's Hojo clan. Been hiding out in the ruins to do recon on both the Tokugawa and Takeda. You saw that odd Takeda army, yeah? So long as the Hojo and Takeda are allies, taking action would breach the contract, but not avenging my men would soil the Fuma name. I got no ties to the Tokugawa, but I owe you. How about a sparring match? As a thank you, I'll gladly show you the arts of the Fuma if you want to see them.
Okay, those who live in the shadows is done.
Oh, hey, here to spar, yeah? I gave my word. Whenever you're ready. Want a taste of what the Fuma can do? All right, show me what you've got.
Okay, we're gonna do this one time. If he beats me, that's cool. I'll just come back and fight him another time. But let's give it a shot.
No holding back. I sure won't. A clash of shinobi, eh? All right, bring it. Hanzo taught you from what I can tell. This'll be fun.
Fuma has me running around this place for my life. He's not giving me a chance to catch my breath here. Okay, let's try the water familiar. Yeah, I probably should switch to one of the other familiars. I think fire might actually be a better familiar to use. There's also wind. I don't know. Not sure. He's got a boatload of ki because I can't seem to get it down. It's funny, my little jump attack that had been working so successfully against certain enemies definitely doesn't seem to be working against him. It's like he knocks me out of the air.
Time to get serious.
Yeah, I don't know whether I like that Guardian Spirit move there. It doesn't do anything. So you get one little blast of fire. It does like maybe 200 damage. I mean, recharge is pretty fast. I mean, if I'm really sort of focused on that, using that methodology, every time it refills, and it refills pretty fast, I should use it. But I don't think it does enough damage for me to pay much attention to it like that. I rarely use it. Oh well. Bludgeoned to death. Thank you, game. Okay, so like I said, we're only going to do that one time. So let's move on. So he's going to be considered a master. They'll be on the maps, so you can go back and deal with the masters when you want. You know, you can level up, get a little bit more practice, and then come back and sort of deal with them. Okay, so let's find Nioh Tora. She's the one that's going to be allying with us next. We have a series of connected quests. I guess there's a quest line for her. I haven't seen one of these in a while. Ouch. There she is.
Lord Takechiyo, you've arrived.
Yep.
These yokai are proving to be quite troublesome. Might you lend me a hand?
Of course. Okay, the apparition of Ryoten Temple. Or Ryoten, not quite sure how to pronounce that. It looks like a...
These yokai are far too much for us. If only Lord Notora were here.
Okay. She can handle herself. Very nice. You sweat me, buddy. Okay, so this... This temple has a number of kodama, a hot springs, a couple of treasure chests, lots of loot, and a boatload of enemies. So we're going to take our time and work our way through this. And we'll likely wrap up with the boss as we complete this area.
Such damage to the floor. Step carefully, or the creaking boards may give away our presence.
This was a feature in one of the Assassin's Creed games. Actually, it was Assassin's Creed Shadows, I guess. The enemy could hear you if you move too quickly on the floor. But in that particular instance, it wasn't because the floor was damaged. It was because it was a way of protecting the people who lived inside a particular castle. Okay, so now he knows I'm here. Maybe I should use whatever weapon she's using. She's doing a ton more damage. What is that? Nice. Okay.
I would have been fine if I had just stayed in that room.
Yeah, I don't think there's a real reason to be sneaking in here anymore after all that commotion that we just saw. So you may want to hack out the walls, make it a little bit easier to know where you've been in this place. Okay, well, those aren't hackable. Nor can you open any of them. Okay, no worries. There's another shrine, maybe two. This is a... Who the hell are you? Some stranger just popped out of nowhere. He may have been on the other side of the wall. That might have been how he found me, because they only sort of become active if you get near them. Okay, so that's one little shortcut. There are a few of those doors that you might find that if you find them, you definitely want to open them, because if you die and go back to the original shrine, it'll be a little bit easier to run back to, at least to this part. Now, I didn't know...
Yokai are supposed to hate the toll of a bell. I'd better go ring it soon.
Okay, there we go. I was not listening to the guy when he said that about the bell, because otherwise I would have run over and rang the bell before taking on the yokai, right? What's the point of fighting them all when I could just go ring the bell? So, ouch. So that's totally my bad. Totally. Yeah, the shuriken, at least the pinwheel shuriken, because it hits the enemy twice, is pretty good. There are other ones you can unlock. Poison is one I want to unlock, but I'm not sure how many of them you have to use to actually proc poison on the enemy. See, if you end up having to use all of it in your arsenal, then it may not be useful. But if you weaken an enemy and then you just throw one and it hits the enemy and then hits the enemy on the return, I think that's a better investment, a better return on your investment, literally. Okay, maybe it makes those red ones disappear when you ring the bell. Because this is going to become active. The other one is a normal. The other thing is, when you're fighting the red ones, you see the little, I guess, the red spirit things floating off from them. They are floating towards a blood demon. And if you find the blood demon, I don't think they show up on the map, which is odd. I'm not sure why they wouldn't show up on the map. They don't. When you're in a particular area, you'll see them. It's a much taller signal marker, and it's a different color. It's like purple, as opposed to red or the blue ones for your summons. They're very difficult fights, but you get really good loot. I think initially I was afraid to ring the bell. It's like, what if I ring the bell and yokai pop out of everywhere? But if I had been listening to the guy who said ring the bell, and the yokai don't like it, that would have been more helpful. The other thing is, there's one of those monks playing an instrument somewhere nearby. Okay, the Kappa is running for his life. Okay, buddy, now you're pissing me off. We run through half of the place to chase him down. You know, I gotta make a note to myself. Note to self: next time you're in a new area like this, switch to an enemy sensor.
Lord Nelasa, we pray for your well-being and health.
Oh,
You
there
will
he
be
is,
the one
the guy
to restore the
playing
E
the-
clan.
Making the playing the instrument. Sorry to mess up your little concert. Oh, okay, she was just knocking the little screen down. Alright. Killed by an yokai. Yeah, it does make it easy to traverse the place when you're using these as your path forward. Oops. Okay, well, now it's a problem. Oh, okay. I was going to say, either there's a shrine nearby or one of these little guys.
Oh my, a friendly yokai. How adorable. Just looking at it soothes my heart.
Yeah, they are kind of cute. Oh, there's a shrine. Okay. Nice. And you can see on the mini-map there are chests all over the place. And there are yokai all over the place as well. Not yokai, kodama all over the place. You probably get like 6 or 7 of them from this little area alone. So I don't want to respawn all of the enemies just yet. Let's do this, which I now know I was supposed to do at the start. Okay, so there must have been at least one more yokai around because I had Amaretta come to me. And there are probably 3, either 2 or 3 more of these bells as well. It's a little bit of a confusing place because when you're inside of the buildings, there are all these twists and turns. A couple of the buildings connect, but all of them don't. The treasure and the kodama and those kinds of things will be in the building, under the building, and on top of the building, and all of the above in this particular location. So it means when you're going through, you have to be sort of ultra careful about, you know, what the mini-map is telling you versus what you see with your own eyes. Another Choco Cup. Okay, I think we can do this now. We'll make our way this way. Okay, there's definitely a boss in the middle of the room. There's a chest somewhere in this room as well. Oh, there it is. Let's see if we can grab this without being seen. Nope, apparently not. Something sees me. No. Well, I guess we could have knocked those walls down. We chose not to, but now they're all down anyway. Okay. We did not aggro the boss, and we can grab the chest. Okay, cool. So there is the boss. Is that it? I'm just making sure they know. Oh no, there's an enemy behind him. So why don't we see if we can't get that enemy to come over, fight him. And then we'll deal with the boss. Oh, nope, sorry, the boss is now active.
Behind this.
The good news is she can take care of him while I deal with this guy. He doles out a lot of damage.
Fine display. It seems my expectations were not misplaced. Let's keep moving.
Alright, nice. Not too bad. So we know he's not the main boss, because that was way too easy for the main boss. But one of the things one of the things about the game is that you definitely have your work cut out for you when you're fighting the bosses in this game. Although I guess you have people who create these god tier builds and they're able to melt bosses. I haven't figured that out yet. So for me, it is, fighting the boss, trying to figure out why I'm not doing as much damage. What I need to do, I'm always going to be sticking with these two weapon types that I have for each of the two, for the samurai and for the ninja. So if it boils down to weapon type, then that's going to be an issue for me for the whole game. But I don't think it's weapon type. I think it's a bunch of other stuff. The other thing I need to do is to upgrade my my guardian spirit, which I got a message saying how to do it. I didn't pay attention to the message. I need to sort of do a little research and figure out how to do that. I can't imagine that there's something. These guys are so goofy. Okay, what's that? Who's doing that? Yeah, I can't imagine I haven't found whatever the materials is needed to upgrade them. I just need to figure out how to do it. Okay, so there are two Kodama in the area. They're not in the building. So I'm sorry to disrupt your little bopping along, buddy. Yeah, these enemies, you really need to sort of stay on them. Otherwise, they get really annoying with the sonic breath that they're throwing at you. And they can attack and stun lock you as well. You definitely don't want that.
We of the E-Clan have presided over Nioh since antiquity, but recent years have seen us lose our leaders, and even our castle has fallen to Takeda. I left my life as a nun behind to take charge of the clan and fight together with Lord Ieyas.
Okay, she was a nun. Interesting. A little backstory on her. She's a nun who can fight really, 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 really well. So this is me looking for the Kodama, where the map is telling me it's like right here, but it's actually on the roof. Seeing if we left any loot behind. The guy playing his instrument is back because we used the shrine. So one of the Kodama, one is on the roof and one is, or are they both on the roof in this area? They may both be on the roof. But it's worth checking. Right? On the off chance that it's not on the roof and it's actually, ouch, and it's actually sort of right there. Like I said, they literally can be anywhere in the game. I mean, some areas look pretty precarious, like, oh, well, they wouldn't possibly be down there. We found one. He's right here. Okay, buddy, you are pretty annoying. Okay, so I guess it kills the smaller ones. It doesn't kill all of them. It doesn't seem to make the red ones disappear either. So at least I've tested that theory. Yep. Okay, so everyone in this area seems to like using the split staffs. That's maybe it's saying I'm good using it. The one I have, the one that I'm using now has the imbue lightning thing on it. Although I'm not sure that causes more damage to any of the enemies. So we have 3 Kodama and 3 chests. Looks like a crucible node as well. There's still a lot to do in this area. I can also get a level, apparently. I see. And we're gonna try to get all of this stuff before we leave. Yeah, I don't know why I'm trying this, because these rifles don't actually kill the yokai. They do a pretty good job on the human enemies, but not on the yokai. I think eventually I will switch to... I'm trying to be fooling around there. I'll switch to one of the hand cannons and see if that makes a difference. Although hand cannon is a little like overkill for a human enemy. But then I don't guess I need to use the hand cannon for human, because I can just switch to samurai and use my bow, right? Because I'm using the bow exclusively in samurai mode, and in I'm using the bow exclusively in ninja mode, and in samurai mode I will stick with rifle or hand cannon. Just, again, to add that variety. I guess he was trying to use the pinwheel shuriken as well. Didn't work out for him. I need to figure out a way to create, or at least find an armor set that, or a weapon or something that allows me to gain some health when I'm fighting. I think there is a talisman. I think lifesteal does that. The only thing is, it just is useless against bosses. Because the health pool is just so large when you're fighting bosses. With these enemies, I guess it would be fine. You wouldn't have to continually top yourself off with an... Wow. Buddy. Forced me to use my guardian spirit. What the heck? A living artifact. See? Made me use it for nothing. Okay. She seems to be stuck over here. Okay, there's nothing up there. Let's grab this stuff. Let's climb up. It's funny, I'm so paranoid, you have to look everywhere. Although sometimes you'll get a...
This is the E clan's temple. We should cleanse it of yokai, so that my ancestors may once again rest in peace.
Okay, we will do that. Okay, so it's E, not Lee. Okay, E. The chest, nice. Oh, jeez, one of these guys. Are we gonna beat you to death? Yep, we are. I have help now, so I'm not too worried. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, and our nun friend doesn't need my help at all. Okay, so we're done up here. Since we're up here, let's look for the Kodama. This one's gonna pop alive, yep. You handle that. Okay, so now the Okay, so the question is there a fence? Let's check out the other one first. There he is, right on the edge. This is the one that from below, it seemed like he was hiding in the garden somewhere. So that's one of them. The other one, you sort of have to decide which side of the fence you want to drop down on, because he's either on one side or the other. So if you drop on let's see, we have a Murakami, 2 chests and 2 Kodama, a Crucible Node, and then the final shrine, and then the final boss. So if you drop down on one side, I have to keep looking at the map to make sure I know where I am. Like, I think he's going to be on this side. Because you got the Gaki, and you have the guy playing the music. Okay, and I can't drop down that side. Got it. Okay. I can drop down this side though, because there's loot down there. Let's grab this. And the Kodama looks like it's like right there, but it's not. As you can see, it's under this, which is on the other side. So choose wisely. But we would have had to come over here anyway because there's loot, so I'm not too worried about it. And we have some enemies we need to dispatch as well. Okay, so what we're going to try to do is work our way back to where we were so we can drop down on the correct side. But apparently we're in a whole different section with other enemies and all kinds of good stuff. And we have our Sonic friend out there shooting Sonic waves at us. Lots of stuff going on here. There we go. Okay, so I think that takes... No, it doesn't. There's still one Kodama left. And then the Murakami is directly ahead of us. Wow, this was a pretty frenetic little area.
Unfortunate. To see such beautiful autumn leaves stained with blood.
Yeah, this place is blood all over the place. Okay. So we're going to continue to pump magic up. I think the goal with magic is to hit 40 and then begin to expand to some other areas. Heart is one. Probably need to put more into stamina. Okay. So there's a Kodama down here because we dropped down on the other side. We saw him, but we couldn't get to him. We shot the guy who was playing the music. And now we want to deal with this Gaki, and then we can crawl under, grab the Kodama, and that will be the final Kodama. So one of the things about Nioh magic, I think I was going to make this point earlier when I was talking about sloth. The reason I wouldn't keep that on is because when you use Omnium Magic, it slows down the enemies. Not if you just use one shot, but let's say you use Water Shot, plus you use Lightning or Thunderstorm or one of those kinds of things. It just, the synergy of those will naturally slow the enemy down. So there's no real reason to use Sloth. I'm not sure what happens if, on the other side. Not sure what happens if you use Sloth while you're using that method. It may be worth testing, certainly on bosses, on major bosses, because they move really, really, really fast. So we fought those other people, so let's just deal with the Murakami. And then a hot spring. Okay. Yeah, let's just fight this out. Like, we've already... No, we're gonna have to beat him again. I said we beat him when we came running through here frantically before. As long as we don't activate all those slug creatures, we just want to take him out so we can deal with the Murakami. Okay, back to what we were doing. Okay, what does this see? Hostile. So you have two choices. You get two tries at it. You can be nice, or you can be neutral, but don't be hostile. And I'm trying to remember how to pull up my gestures here. There we go. Let's bow. Alright, let's whistle. Nope, let's not do that. Let's choose a neutral. Am I too far away? What's going on here? Yeah, I think I'm too far away. Because he's not looking at me. Right. There we go. Oh well. I totally messed that one up. Now, if you come in, if by some miracle you're able to get into this room from behind, if you simply remove the talisman that's on his back, he'll just fall over and that'll be the end of the room. But they're not that difficult, it's just an extra fight we didn't need to have. Yeah, I totally... Sorry guys, I totally goofed that up. Absolutely, totally goofed it up. We'll grab this chest. We definitely are finding better gear. And we'll grab this hot spring. Never been in a hot spring. It looks like it must be quite relaxing.
It's quite alright, but please be quick.
Oh my god, dude. In front of the nun? Really? Seems like it would be relaxing. I'm assuming the water is like natural mineral water, hot spring type stuff, which would relax the muscles, leave you feeling really good. Okay, so we have... There's a chest behind that we didn't get. But let's move on to... Okay. Yeah, we took this guy out the first time and forgot that when we reset the world. Oh, he's the Crucible node now. Okay, that's okay. We need to do it anyway. Okay, let's put this to bed. We're simply going to blow your little sonic head off. Okay. Yamabiko. We got this guy up here. Wait, let's climb up and get this stuff. We probably don't need it, but let's get it anyway. Yeah, we needed to come here anyway because there's loot. Okay, now we can go and fight this other guy. Definitely need to upgrade my my guardian spirit. My living artifact, whichever term is the correct term, because he just plucked me right out of the air and knocked me out. Made me waste that. Who is she fighting? Probably should not be doing this. Oh my god. Okay, I totally goofed this up. Now I'm stuck down here with all these slime creatures. I messed up my my little menu for my heals. As I'm trying to figure it out, I'm being chased by a million. Oh my god, this is terrible. If I survive this, let's see if I can survive it. Alright, come on, get over here. Give yourself some space. It's no, that's not it. It's R1 plus bumper key or D-pad. There we go. Now I'm trapped over here with all these guys. That's okay. More Emerita for us. I know there's a shrine outside of the boss room, so maybe I shouldn't worry about this. It's just giving us more XP or Emerita to help level up. So let's just... Okay, where is she? Is she over there fighting by herself? Yeah, I'm not gonna fight all of you guys again. Oh, she's down there fighting. I don't want her to be down there fighting. Okay. Well, is she gonna come up? Nope, she's not. She's gonna stay down there and try to fight them all. All right. That was my bad. I goofed that up totally by falling off the side of the cliff. Okay. Let's see if we can do a better job this time. Okay, at least he didn't go back to full health. I was like, is he gonna go back to full health? He's done. Nice. Okay, so that wasn't so bad. Okay, this guy's... Yep. Knew that was coming. Well, I guess this is us cleansing the area, because I'm like, why are there so many of them in this area? There's like a zillion of these guys. Okay, here's the monk playing the instrument. Have we been over there? I think so. No, we haven't. Because there's loot. The useless bell. Let's ring it. See how much emerald we get. Since we've killed everything in the area. Oh, we got some. Okay. Alright. Okay. Now let's continue forward. Okay, so we are... There is that one chest that's going to drive me crazy, but... Okay, it's one of these sandstorm creatures. So, is this like sand shot? What do you call this that she does? Can it reach me out here? Yes, it can. Do the bouncing around the sky thing. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Okay, we're almost done.
Unimaginable rancor.
We're almost done with the temple.
They must harbor terrible hatred for the head of the E-Clan.
We have the shrine. Let's take this. Nice. Give them lots of benevolent spirits. Which we don't need if now Tora is with us.
I sense a presence stronger than anything we've faced yet. Prepare yourself, and let's go.
I am prepared. Any blessings? 70. Yeah, we can do something. do this. And like always, I will show you a number of attempts. And I'll tell you how many attempts on the final attempt. So it's a different kind of enemy. Yeoman Sukuna. Or Sukuna. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Probably Sukuna. It's Japanese. Okay, so he's got on one side water damage, on the other side fire. Like he's picking me off with his ice arrows. So the goal is to keep moving. What is that? Does he have a grab attack? This is one of those ones where going into the fight with the water familiar is probably not helpful. Well, I guess it could be helpful because he's got a fire side as well as a water side. So it might actually be helpful for part of the fight, but not the other part. But it does create an issue of if you're playing specifically armor for this fight, what do you use? Something with water resistance or something with fire resistance? I guess you'd have to pick one. We're doing pretty good. Unless he's got some super move he hasn't shown it yet. I have to remember whether or not when they're in this dark realm phase I should be attacking or backing off. We were doing well. And he caught me with the ice attack. I tried to heal, and that's what happened. I told you guys I'd get a little bit better with the whole red burst attack thingies. I'm improving. Okay, that one, I don't know why that missed. I'm not perfect with it, but I am much, much better than the first 1 or 2 episodes when I just couldn't get the timing right on it at all. And if I don't miss any of them, it probably makes this a shorter fight. So in those enemies where I'm actually struggling and they're doing the key burst attacks and I'm missing them all. I probably should get better at deflecting those to shorten these fights. Because a lot of these fights are way longer than I think they need to be. But again, I'm just a regular guy who loves video games, so I'm not going to pretend that I'm the expert and spend like 4 hours planning out my loadout and stuff like that. And I've tried not to watch a lot of the best build things, because for every game, someone always claims that for every Souls-like game, people claim that this is the best build for this and this is the best build for that. And I think it just depends on your play style, your preferences, how you play. And when someone is coming up with these are the best types of things, they're not you. So you look at your play style, especially if I'm playing as a mage mode, it might be different from someone who's wielding a big ass axe or a hammer because they want to do that kind of damage. But mages by definition are squishy because they're not putting a lot into strength. They don't need to. So you have to come up with a different strategy for defeating the bosses. It's not just a matter of, oh, let me just go ham on them and see what happens. Now, because this game allows you to switch between ninja and samurai, you can certainly come up with a whole different setup as your samurai, right? And so maybe it's worth doing, because you don't change your stats because you're samurai, right? So if I'm not putting anything into strength, then it would just be a samurai without strength. If I'm playing ninja and putting a lot of stuff into magic because I want to be on Nioh, you can't necessarily play as strength. Ouch. You got me that time. Still have heals left, so it looks like we're gonna do this here. And this is only my third attempt, so okay, so not too bad. Long fight, probably longer than it needed to be, but not overly difficult. My strategy was just to keep moving, don't stay in one spot. She did a lot of the work, I'm not going to deny that. So we've cleansed the temple.
At last, peace will return to Liatan Temple. That yokai was the ghost of a former E-clan retainer who was killed for their betrayal.
Ryoten.
We can do naught but
Not
pray
Ryoten.
that their soul finds rest. Thank you once again. I couldn't have done this alone. Please, take this as a token of appreciation.
Thank
I
you.
will return to Hamamatsu Castle. Safe travels, Lord Takechiyo.
Okay. Fated Land is finished. Speak with it. We already did.
I will return to
Yeah.
Hamamatsu Castle.
I don't know why that pops up.
Safe travels, Lord Takechiyo.
Unless it means speak to her again at Hamamatsu Castle, but I don't think so. Alright, I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything in there. Everything is done. Let's open the door. And we have finished our episode for today. Continuing to put things into magic. I started putting stuff into intellect, but you don't really need to. This isn't Bloodborne. There's no reason to put things into intellect. Or some of the other games where intellect is tied to magic. In this game, that's not the case. So we have headache. We have a number of these left to do. We'll try that. We'll probably knock out that one and the headache one in the next episode. But for now, thank you guys for joining me on episode 7 of Nioh 3. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Better yet, subscribe, comment. I'll comment back. I'll reply. And in the meanwhile, I may go and do some of this, finding these chests and things that you see splattered all over the map. So thanks again for joining me, and I will see you in the next episode. We have uploads every Tuesday and Friday until we complete the game. I don't know what's next on the agenda for the next game. It's still too early to talk about that, but I will let you know when I figure that out. All right? So again, thank you for joining me. This is Reg with PaxAriaGaming saying see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.